Hey, how you doing? I'm up here at one of my favorite public hunting areas, getting ready to do a little deer scouting. Our archery season's open in a week, and I need to do a little homework, check on a few stand locations that I hunt back in here, make sure they're still ready to go. But not too long ago, we got a request to do a video about the gear we take out into the woods with us when we go out on an archery hunt. So this is going to be what's in my backpack. The first thing you're going to need if you're hunting deer from an elevated tree stand is your full body fall restraint harness. This is not an option. If you're hunting from a tree stand, you need to get one and you need to use it every time you climb. It's real easy to use. You just put it on, fasten it up. Now you can wear this over top of your camouflage or underneath. It doesn't make a difference, but it's not an option. If you're hunting from a tree stand, you need to get one of these and use it. The people who care about you want you to come home in the evening whether you get a deer or not. So that's your fall restraint harness. Real easy to use. What you do is you take this and you hook it up to your safety rope. This rope is the safety rope. It goes around the tree, and then you attach the carabiner on the harness to this prusik knot. And when that's attached around the tree, you will not hit the ground. If you slip off the stand or if the stand gives way, it will keep you safe. Get one and use it. They have different systems for if you're using a ladder stand. I think it's called a lifeline. You string it beside the ladder and you hook up to the lifeline and you stay attached as you climb up the ladder and climb back down until your feet are firmly back on the ground, and then you can unhook. That's a must. Now, I also have with me, of course, my hunting license. If you're going to hunt, you need to have a hunting license. I keep that in a plastic Ziploc bag to protect it from the elements. So I have my license and all applicable stamps in here in the plastic bag. I also have my cell phone. Anything electronic. Keep it safe from the rain if you get wet out here. I call this my after the hunt bag because I also have my deer tags in here. I have my gutting knife. I have a pen for filling out my game tags. I have a pair of reading glasses because when you get a little older, it can be kind of hard to see to fill in those tags. You young guys will find out about that soon enough. But keep my car keys in here so that they don't get lost. So when you're on it all day, sit and you're up in your tree stand, and you decide to dig through your pack and have lunch, your car keys don't fall out and wind up at the base of the tree and you forget about them and hike back to the truck and can't get in. Long story. But, yeah, so, and if, you know, I got a couple of candy bars in here, Snickers, and for quick energy. So that's what I keep in my Ziploc. This also is great to toss the camera in if it starts raining so the electronics don't get ruined if I get caught out in weather. Now, after that, I like to take an extra pair of camouflage gloves because you're going to end up dropping one of those out of the stand too at some point. You're going to need your face mask. I usually wear this in. I'll just put this on and wear it out to my hunting site. But if you're bow hunting for deer, you need something to cover your face. I mean, a lot of guys use face paint. I like to use the mask. Makes me feel like I've got better coverage on my face than just a couple of those lines of makeup. This is public land, so I always have a piece of orange with me. This is good if you're hunting and there's a lot of activity on the area. Squirrel hunters are out. You can wear it walking to and from the stand. Or if you're up in your tree and somebody approaches you getting ready to hunt, you don't have to make a lot of noise. You can just wave this around and hopefully they'll spot you and move on to another location without a bunch of commotion, without disturbing the area too much. It's a safety thing. Now, I have a rangefinder, and this is so when I get up into the stand, I can look around and spot my shooting lanes, my open shooting lanes, and I can range them and say, okay, that spot's 30 yards, this spot's 25 yards. So I've got a real good idea the distances that I have available to shoot. If a deer shows up in one, I want to know how far away he is now, so I know the right pin to put on that deer. I like to take some binoculars. Always good to have some glass out in the field with you, not just for when you're scouting and looking at deer in fields, but when you're back in the brush and you spot some movement, a lot of times having some glass can help you pick a deer out at a distance in thick brush. You can get a better look at him, pick out tail or maybe an ear flicking. So these also help in thick brush. I always carry some glass with me. Of course, I got my little headlight. It's not bright, but I do like to have a headlight when I'm getting into the woods in the morning and getting set up. It helps you get up to your site quickly and quietly without tripping over branches and cracking brush and sticks and stuff. So I always do use a little light going in the dark. I have a spare light source in case that one gives out. Just a little pen light. Now, as far as hunting from a tree stand, when you're climbing up in your tree, you don't want to have a bunch of stuff in your hands. You want your full attention focused on using your tree stand or going up and down your ladder. So what I take for my gear is a 30-foot haul-up rope. What you do is you attach this one end to your gear, coil the rope onto the ground, and then you attach the other end to your belt or clip it onto your tree stand, so that as you climb, your full attention is on your hands and the climber or the ladder as you ascend the tree. Once you get up to the top, then you can pull your gear up to you. Much safer that way. You don't want to climb with things in your hands. Of course, I have my release aid. So I shoot a D-loop, so I need a release aid for the string. I would have my bow and arrow with me too. Of course, I'm going to have that with me, but the season's not open yet. I didn't bring it with me today because I didn't want the game warden to maybe roll up in here and get the wrong idea about what I was trying to do today. I always carry a grunt call. Now, I know you see a lot of videos on TV, hunting shows on TV, where guys are using this to grunt bucks in during the rut, call bucks in. But these things work great any time of the year. Early season, even if you're hunting does. A lot of times, if you have a doe coming in, you give her a little contact grunt, she'll come over and check it out. I've had that work many times where I've had does passing by and give them a little contact grunt, just short grunt, and they'll come over to look for who's around and offer a shot. And what do you have to lose? If you've got deer passing 50, 60 yards down there through the brush out of range, it's not going to hurt to toss a grunt at them, see if you can't pull them in. So I always carry a grunt call, and I use it in all year round, all seasons. Early season, late season, during the rut. I carry some scent killer with me just for touch-ups. Now, I did a video about prepping your hunting clothes for the hunt and how to properly use scent killer. I'll put a link to that, getting prepared for the hunt, right up here. Maybe you want to check that video out too. Handheld GPS. I always carry this I used to follow Glotax to my stand, but I've found that using this handheld GPS is a lot more efficient. You can go in here, scout your sites, mark them on the GPS, and then when you come back in the dark, you can follow this GPS right to your stand. It's accurate to within 10 yards, and I've found you can get in a lot more quickly, a lot more quietly using the handheld GPS. Now, I use this arm guard. This is a compression arm guard, and you should always use one of these when you're archery hunting. It's designed to keep the bowstring from hitting your arm, and I know that's not a problem for a lot of people, especially people who've been doing a lot of shooting. But what this also does is in winter, when you have thick clothing on, you have a lot of layers, you might have your jacket, this will compress those clothes down and keep them tight against your arm, because you may not hit your arm with your bowstring, but if you got a bulky jacket on, sometimes the string will catch that. And if you brush your jacket when you're taking your shot, it can throw the arrow way off to the side and cause you to miss, or even worse, make a bad hit. So use an arm guard if you have thick clothing on. Keep your sleeves out of the way. There's a lot of discussion about should you urinate from your stand or not. I know a lot of guys do. I don't. I always carry an empty bottle to pee in. I call it my pee jug. I am worried about the scent, because I drink a lot of coffee in the morning to get going, and when I go, it smells like coffee. That's a foreign scent to the woods, and I don't want any kind of foreign scent in the woods. I also found that if you're 20, 25 feet up in the tree and you take a leak, you make a lot of noise as that stream hits the leaf litter. It makes a lot of noise, so I pee in a jug. During the colder part of the year, I like to have some of these hot hands. I'll open these up, and they help keep you warm when it's really cold outside, these chemical hand warmers. Sometimes I won't use them, just use them for my hands. I'll put one down my shirt, and it'll keep your midsection warm. During the rut, I like to carry, I don't carry scents anymore. I used to carry scents a lot, and I found that using scent tends to attract a lot of young bucks. And that's great if you're looking to take a spike or a forkhorn. But I've also found that when you're hunting during the rut, those young bucks will come in and hang around, and you may end up getting busted, or worse yet, I found that those young bucks, when they're coming in looking for scent, they will chase every doe that comes by clean across to the next county. They see her coming, they think that's what they're smelling, and they'll take off chasing her. So with the deer, the young bucks running the does off from the stand, you're probably not going to get a shot at a doe, or the older bucks tend to shy away and they'll lurk back into cover. They're a little smarter than those younger bucks that come right in. They'll tend to hang out and kind of listen and watch to see if they can spot the doe, and they'll pick her off as she's coming in down the trail, go over and check her, and if she's not in heat, they're smart enough to move off. Now, I also use one of these though during the rut. Doe and heat bleed. I won't carry that all the time. I usually just carry this during the rut. And again, calling can help a lot in certain situations. It doesn't work all the time, but what really do you have to use by giving it a try? If a doe's passing by at a range, or a buck's passing by at a range, call at them. They may turn and come in. I've had it happen more than once. Of course, I'm filming, so I've got the camera and the camera arm, this heavy old thing I take with me, and this attaches to the tree so I can use the camera hands free. And that's something most guys won't be carrying unless you're doing your own film your hunts. Then you're going to need some kind of tree arm for your camera gear. Get good steady footage. And this apple here, I always take an apple and I eat it as I'm walking in. I found that apple is nature's breath mint. It will clean all the odor off your breath, so your breath smells like an apple. And that's good because you don't want to smell like toothpaste or coffee or whatever you've been eating to the deer. They smell that. They will smell your breath. That's one sort of scent a lot of guys overlook. They'll get their scent-free clothing, their scent-free deodorants and stuff and soaps, but they overlook their breath. So an apple's always a good option to eat on the way to the stand. So that's about it. That's what I have in my backpack. Oh, and one last thing. This is really important. Always have some toilet tissue with me. At some point, you're probably going to need it. And if you don't have it with you, you're going to wind up having to buy some new socks this fall. About our channel here, Sharing the Outdoors. I know we've been kind of lacking lately in getting videos produced. We've been real busy, had a lot of work obligations, family obligations, but rumor has it that's all about to change. I'm going to have some free time on my hands coming up this fall, and I'm going to use a lot of that to try and produce some fresh video content for our channel here on YouTube. We're going to be out here. We're going to be doing, of course, some deer hunting. May get some fall fishing in this year. I know we haven't done much of that, but fall can be a good time to go fishing. And I'm going to twist a few arms, see if I can't get the guys to do a few herping videos this fall. We've really been slacking on that. I feel like we're letting our herping fans down. But I've already talked to Michael and Matt, and they sounded like they would be able to get out some and do a little fall herping this year. So hopefully we're going to have a bunch of fresh content coming up before long at all. Like I said, I'm going to get out here scouting today, and I'm going to prep a preseason scouting video for this season coming up. I'll have that up, should have that out within a week, maybe even less than that, see how the scout goes today. But we would appreciate your subscription here at Sharing the Outdoors, and we appreciate all the viewers we have already. Thanks for watching. When you do subscribe, make sure you hit that little bell icon so you know as soon as we have new content coming out. We hope to see you again real soon. Looks like a good season coming up.